I remember when I was a kid, I would go to school and I was always the one that had the sack lunch packed for them. My mom was a nutritionist and she always made sure I had high quality lunches in school. But I looked around and I was one of only a handful of kids that were actually bringing lunch to school. Everyone else ate in the cafeteria. They went up to the assembly line and would get what looked to me like really good food. It was food that just looked a little more tasty than what I was eating. I was eating carrots, fruit, homemade soups, homemade sandwiches, all these things. My friends were eating French fries, burgers, yogurts, puddings, cookies, and I thought I was missing out. Fast forward to college, I was eating in the cafeteria, fries, burgers, and all these things. Well, today I'm going to go through how in the past few years I have gone back to my roots of bringing my lunches and mostly eating at home. Typically, I only eat 1 to 2 meals out per week. Well, last week I ate out 5 times, and I'm going to share with you exactly what happened. First of all, I don't opt for eating in homemade food and buying groceries for monetary purposes. Yes, a side benefit of it is I do end up saving a lot of money. But I do it because of the way I feel. Eating whole foods like fruits, vegetables, staying away from processed foods. When I'm eating animal protein, I'm eating organic free-range chicken. I'm eating wild-caught fish. I'm getting a solid mix of all these things. When I eat out, I need to be a lot more on my toes with what I'm eating. Because when I'm not, so many things waterfall in my life. So why did I eat out so much last week? 2.5 times more than I typically do. Well, sometimes I just schedule too many things. I scheduled a dinner with my dad, and that was probably the healthiest meal I had. I scheduled a meal with a client, and we went to a restaurant where I was tempted to get one of my favorite things, which is terrible for you unless you make them homemade. I ate chili rellenos, which are terrible for you, but you can make a healthier version at home. But I also found myself starting to crave the food. I also threw in a couple fast food restaurants. What ended up happening is I packed my schedule too tight. When you pack your schedule too tight, it becomes more convenient to go and eat out instead of taking that forethought into play and having a salad, making sure you're getting your cruciferous vegetables, your broccoli and cauliflower, your arugula, making sure you're getting your fruits for antioxidants, making sure you're getting your nutrients through powerful protein sources. So here's what happened. The first thing that happened is my sleep quality tanked. I went from sleeping a solid 7 to 8 hours per night and getting very high quality sleep when I'm eating at home, and even when I eat out 1 or 2 meals in a week, as long as I eat out early in the day, it doesn't affect my sleep quality that much. But when I ate out 5 days, which is almost every single day, my sleep quality went from 6 to 7 nights of 7+ hours of sleep to 1 to 2 nights. The rest of the nights weren't 6. There were some nights where I was only getting 2 to 3 hours. I was tossing and turning. And why does this happen? This happens because when you eat out, you don't have the quality control to make sure that you're not getting excess sugar, you're not getting excess sodium. And that really throws me off. That threw my sleep quality down the drain. The second thing is I was getting a lot of dry mouth and dehydration. This reinforced poor sleep quality because I felt like I had to drink a bunch of water because my mouth kept getting dry. I'd wake up with cotton mouth. And what did I do? I drank more water and my body was flushing out these toxins, flushing out the excess sugar, excess sodium, the other chemicals going into my system because I was eating out. I was using the restroom a lot. Instead of waking up once, I was waking up 3 or 4 times. The crazy thing is, this didn't just affect me the day I ate out. Substances stay in our system for a while. Eating out 5 nights a week, even if you eat out every other day, you're going to feel the benefits or the obstacles, the challenges that it creates for multiple days. So this wasn't just on the days I ate out. This was the entire week, plus a couple days. The next thing that happened, well, irritability and anxiety increase. This is crazy to me. We think that's normal in America to feel these ways, to have poor sleep quality, to be a little dehydrated. And we think our anxiety is caused by something other than what we put in our body. When I eat healthy food at my house that Tatiana and I cook, my irritability and anxiety plummets. When I eat out, especially sugar, processed sugar, more sodium, fried foods, other chemicals, my body starts going on high alert. I get irritable because my sleep quality is bad. My anxiety goes up because my sleep quality is bad. I have an entire podcast episode about how important sleep is, and I highly recommend you check that out. My dry mouth and dehydration goes into this irritability. So if you are feeling irritable and anxious, look at your diet. See what you're eating. Eat in more, not just to save money, but to save your body. That brings me to the next one, heartburn. I had heartburn almost every day this week that I ate out 5 times. This can be diagnosed as irritable bowel syndrome. The medical diagnosis with heartburn is interesting. I have a disclaimer in the show notes. I'm not a medical doctor. So everything I talk about on this channel, I highly recommend that you see your healthcare professional or medical doctor with anything and everything that I talk about. Heartburn is diagnosed all the time, and prescriptions are given for it. Prescriptions that can help alleviate it. The thing is, when I eat at home and I know what I'm eating, my heartburn is nothing. It goes away almost completely. But when I eat out, I go from having heartburn 0 days a week to having heartburn almost daily. I invite you to look at your life and what you're putting in your body and take control of it. That doesn't mean you have to stop eating out. Maybe you can be more strategic with where you eat out. Whenever I go to Chicago with my dad, we go to high quality restaurants like Frontera Grill, and I focus on eating more plant-based, avoiding meat, maybe eating white meats like fish and chicken. This stuff doesn't happen. But if I find myself starting to eat the pizza, the burgers, the fries, these highly processed foods, or foods that have all this extra sugar and sodium, that's when this happens. And the great thing is, when you eat at home, is you can eat some of your favorite meals that if you eat them at a restaurant and you go to the wrong restaurant and this stuff happens, you could eat that exact same meal cooked at home and take the processed sugar out, take the excess sodium, add more whole foods, fresh foods into it, and you'll have no issues. So I invite you to look at what you're doing and see the results that you get when you start eating at home more, when you start being more mindful of what you're putting in your body. And the crazy thing about all this, and this is number 5, it's its own side of the board if you're watching this on YouTube, because this is crazy. This is a reinforcing loop. I started craving eating out. The more you eat out, the more you want to, and the harder it is to stop. If you're eating out every day or a couple meals a day, at least cut it back to once a day, and then start cutting it back even more. Being more mindful of what you're eating when you're out. I may not go to a fast food restaurant for months, and then I'll eat there 3 times in the same week because I start craving it. I go from not craving it at all to craving it. And there's some science behind this. Our gut is built to crave what we feed it. So if you start feeding your gut more fruits and vegetables and healthy foods, you're going to start craving healthy foods. If you are feeding it unhealthy foods, all these foods that you get when you eat out, then you're going to start craving that. So what you need to do is take control of your mind, or take your mind out of it completely. Start feeding yourself healthier foods, being mindful of what you're eating when you eat out, take control of your life, and treating yourself even better. And that's why I have a gift for you, my 3 pillars of healthy living guide. The first pillar is movement. The second is tracking things like your sleep quality, how much water you're taking in per day, what you're eating, how you're feeling. The third pillar is accountability. When you combine these 3 pillars, you will start living a healthier life. I was able to lose 40 pounds and keep it off by integrating these 3 pillars of healthy living into my life. And you can grab your free copy of my Healthy Living Guide linked in the show notes or in the description on YouTube, or go to www.athletewithasthma.com/healthy-living-guide to grab your free copy today. It's going to take you less than 1 or 2 minutes to read this guide and start integrating it into your life. I'll see you in the next one.